Hello again, my friends. So in our previous videos, we've seen data type and basic operations. We've covered addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and so forth. So the next few videos, I want to cover a really important topic, which is how do we make decisions with our JavaScript code? So that means in this video, I want to go into the Boolean logic, which is, of course, very important for the functions that we're going to create in the rest of our course. So I'll ask the question again in case you don't actually know. What is Boolean logic? Now, previously I showed you what Boolean is, right? For example, we created a variable here. It was called hasCourse, and we took the value to be true or false. So Boolean is a data type that takes a value to be either true or false. So that means that Boolean logic is simply writing statements that evaluate whether something is true or false. Now, this is a process that checks whether an expression is true or not, but what kind of process can it be? Now, that is indeed the deeper question, so I'll show you. Let's say that we've built an application and we have many users. So we will have a variable, okay? We'll call it isLoggedIn. Now its value will be true, and we can say that if our isLoggedIn value is true, then do the following. For example, show them a page. Now let's say the isLoggedIn value is false, show this page instead. So it's a very simple example, but of course there might be such logic as that. But eventually we'll be using these statements to actually run certain parts of our code if something is true, and then some other parts of our code if something else is false. You follow? So since we're going to be doing similar applications, I do want you to understand the Boolean logic structure thoroughly. So the first thing that we have to do here is we start with comparison operators. All right? So comparison operators are things that most of us use all the time in our day-to-day life, I'm sure. It's how we compare two values against one another, and it's basically how JavaScript does the same thing. All right. So this chart here goes over all of the different comparison operators, and it assumes that x equals 10. So that means that you can plug in 10 wherever you see x. So when we start here with the simplest one, greater than, so x is greater than 15. So is 10 greater than 15? No. So it evaluates to be false. Next one is greater than or equal to. So 10 is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, so that's true. Next we have less than and less than or equal to. And you see that when you plug in 10, 10 is not less than 8, so it evaluates to be false. 10 is less than or equal to 20, so it evaluates to be true. Now, the next four here are a little bit different. They cover equality and non-equality. So it's how we check if x is actually equal to the number 10, or if x is equal to that string 10, or is x anything but the number 5. Okay, so this is basically how we check for equality. One thing you'll notice, though, is that there are two ways to check for equality. So there's one with 2 equal signs and one with 3 equal signs. Likewise, there are a couple of different ways to check for non-equality. So one with the equal sign and an exclamation point, and another one with an exclamation point and 2 equal signs. So I want you to notice that they're both together in pairs. Yeah? So, what does it all mean? We'll start by talking about the double equals here. Notice that x double equals the string 10. So x is number 10, x double equals the string 10. That's true. But if we do x triple equals the string 10, that's false. So what's the reason for that? Well, it's on my next slide here, and it's about type coercion. So when we use double equals, it performs a type coercion. So what that means is it takes the two numbers or the two strings or the two variables, whatever they are, and it tries to turn them into a similar type so that it can then compare them, right? So in this example, x is in number 20. And when we double equals x with the string 20, well, that's true because JavaScript performs type coercion. It tries to get them to be the same format and then compares the value. That makes sense, right? But now triple equals does not perform type coercion because it doesn't only care about the value. So not only does it recognize that they're both 20, but that one is a string and one is a number, which is not valid. Okay, so you get that, right? As a general rule of thumb, always use triple equals because it's so much safer, all right? It's way more specific. Wow, so what do you think? It's a lot. We started to learn Boolean logic. So we're going to get a lot of practice. Don't worry about it. We'll pause quickly right here, and then we'll pick it up in the next section. All right? See you then.